What's up, everybody?
Ladies and gentlemen,
wow.
Restart. Restart to
the
12 fail. We just watched 12 fail.
Wow.
This movie.
Oh, so
we got to set the context because
Yep.
this is a brand new movie that just came out.
Yeah.
We saw the rating, and everyone was like, "You have to watch this movie."
Yeah.
So I am very glad that we did.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Number
man.
5 in popularity.
Wow.
It's going up.
Like worldwide.
Is that international?
Yeah,
Or is it
dude.
just
That is
wow.
wild.
That
Let's
is
take a look. 'cause
bananas.
Yeah.
Wow!
Live.
Dude, Saltburn,
In-
Poor Things,
in
Society of the,
the
Snow,
world,
Mean Girls,
right?
12
Insane.
fail.
When did this come out?
When did this come out?
This came out in October in
But
the
it
US.
came out in
but
in
I think
other-
it just came out on streaming, and it's
Well,
it's getting
dude,
a
it
huge
is
boost.
popping off.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness!
So-
it deserves number 1.
You're right.
No!
It was so well made.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a great shot, story, acting.
Yep. The music too, the way they edited the music together, the cinematography, the one shots and stuff.
Yeah.
Like all around just such a solid film.
And really, I think a great message.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like,
honesty
sticking
wins out
with
in the end,
honesty.
even if it doesn't seem
Yeah.
like that's the case.
And like, I
Yeah.
love just like because it's showing that there is a lot of corruption. I mean, I'm assuming in India in that kind of regard, but like
everywhere, yeah.
everywhere, and just the show that the integrity is what wins out in the end
Yeah.
is such a good message.
Well, and like at the halfway point when his dad was ready to give up, but then he repeated his dad's words to
and
back
his
to
dad
him.
got vibed out.
And, like just so many moments like that where like honesty is worth it. It's worth it taking that harder path. And like it I just loved how throughout the film he was always honest. Like he didn't back down.
He didn't
at
bend.
any point
No.
throughout the movie, and that's so rare to see in a movie.
Yeah.
Like even he didn't like lie about in the interview. He didn't. Yeah, he just kept with it and stood strong, and it was just really cool to see that.
Yeah.
And all his hard work paying off at the end. Like
so
that was so
gratifying to see,
emotional.
yeah.
And like so powerful.
I know.
And oh man, I'm talking about the end of the film already, but
he
like
came from nothing. It was so powerful to see just like a village, just a village, and then that's their guy that's going out there and trying it, and he's got to just go through the grime. Gets robbed right away. I love that. It was immediately
just
like
show,
just reset, right?
It was real life. It wasn't like, oh, it's an easy path to get there.
Before the reset even was like a thing in this movie, he reset.
Yeah.
When he traveled there,
before he
had
even
to
took
reset.
his first exam, he had to take a reset.
He had a reset. It's just this whole movie was just trial, and it just in that 12th fail, right?
Yeah.
The trials and then failing and then trying and then failing and then just that struggle was so good and so satisfying.
So relatable
at the end.
to everyone. I mean, anyone who's gone through school too or college and all that. It's very relatable in a way. And like, I love this movie. It was so well done.
I think we gotta highlight.
I love the full circle it had with the officer at the beginning who told him, "Hey, don't cheat. That's all you need." And then him seeing the officer later, that
gave me
so
chills.
Emotional. I know. I was like, "Wow,
dude!" When that guy
so
stood up and was like, "Sir," I almost started crying.
That was so powerful.
That was so good.
And it refers back to that scene in the classroom where the teacher was talking about respect and like how an officer will always be humble, and like that was him showing humility and respect to the main character, to Minaj, and being like, "Hey, you made it. You did a good job." It was just so that scene was so
beautiful,
powerful,
so beautiful.
Oh.
I think we have to shout out Vikrant Massey. So he's the
Minaj.
Who played Minaj. Incredible acting. We were astounded by either the makeup or the hairstyling combination.
Costume.
It was like costume hair, and like. Yeah,
for when he was young, he almost looked that age. It's really hard because he's probably like 30.
How old is he right now? Let's go. Let's see how old he is.
His acting too is just so well done on that front too. I mean, like He's 36.
36.
Wow,
That's what I was
So
thinking.
really, he did look like a teenager,
Yeah.
like 16, 17, 18-ish.
I
like,
don't know what they did in the makeup department, but whatever
he's
they
got
did
such
actually
a
made
good,
you believe it.
Yeah, because like his face is so well, like you can really mold it. It's base young, and you can age it up or age it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like what a great.
Yep.
It's so cool.
It is.
Yeah, his
Oh, my
acting was
goodness.
so.
He was so good,
purposeful, and so affecting.
And in that whole scene when he was being interviewed, like his acting really came out at that point. Just the emotion and
Well, and
all around.
there's that one scene when him and his mom are crying.
Yeah,
that
my
was powerful.
Word.
There's many times in this film where the music subsides and it's just quiet, and the emotions are just there in front of you.
Powerful.
And that's how you do it. That's how you really, really perfect a dramatic effect for your
They don't have to like have super loud emotional music in the background. It was just quiet.
And that's that's what shows you how good of actors they are, because that's where their acting chops need to kick in.
Yeah.
Because it's no music, there's no swelling.
Absolutely.
It's the emotion.
Yeah.
And they got to be there.
The director's like, hey, this is an emotional scene. We need to convey this through the screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you just... Yeah. There was no dialogue in that scene necessarily.
It was just crying. It
broken
was
soul. Yeah.
Crazy.
It was really it was really well done. There were multiple scenes like that, I feel like, in this film.
I think that was Geeta, by the way, too. Geeta Sharma,
mother,
I believe, that played Pushpa. She was really good. That one scene was oof.
Mm-hmm.
That was
powerful.
And Medha Shankar did really good too. I liked her.
As Shraddha. She was it was interesting to explore the potential cast differences, but she was like, this does not matter. I don't care if you're working with just in the streets or whatever you do.
Yeah, that was so powerful.
That is such love.
Yeah, and I'm so glad he read the note before going in a second time. Because, after that, he's like, okay. He didn't have to worry. I mean, he's like, hey, she's not going to leave me if I don't get this
Whatever happens, it's okay.
She's okay with whatever happens.
It doesn't matter what that one guy said.
Yep.
Even if I do fail, it'll be okay.
Yep.
Which was so interesting and so cool.
Yeah, and I loved how he said, hey, even if I'm not an officer, I'll be a school teacher to try to make the kids honest starting at a young age.
There's many ways to get what.
Oh and the
achieve what he was.
The lamppost scene, or when he said studying under the light or whatever, he turned that into that analogy about him going being that teacher. And shining his light even just in a small corner of the world, instead of he doesn't have to be the sun. He can be the lamppost for his village and stuff. And so I love that. It wasn't. Yeah, there's so many good things in this movie. I keep thinking of more and more.
I liked
areas of this film that were just so good.
Well, and on that part, when he was talking in that interview, I liked how after that I was like, I don't know if he's gonna get it or not.
Yeah,
we were actually
because it is one of those things where it's you're right. He could fail, and that's okay. He's gonna do something to help.
Yeah. And so either way, we were okay with it. We're okay, as long as he's happy, this is all we need. And that was powerful too. Just
it's crazy because this movie was so well done, and we've seen the basic story structure before, where someone starts out in a situation that seems impossible to burst out of and achieve what their dreams are. So we've seen this story many, many times, and that's why it has to be, when this story is portrayed on screen, it has to be done very well and emotionally resonant to the viewers. And I think that this one was achieved perfectly in that regard.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I admit I've become jaded towards quite a few dramas like this because we've seen it before, right?
Yeah.
But this was so cool because it didn't have too many of the common, more cheesy elements or ones that were just trying to maybe have a tearjerker element just for the sake of being that.
Yeah.
This was earnest,
right?
Which I appreciated.
I mean, honestly, the biggest tearjerker part for me was the ending when the police officer.
Yeah, and it was a simple thing.
It was simple, but it was just like
it was not fabricated.
No, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was so beautiful.
And so I guess this makes me wonder about the real Minaj, and so how many of these elements in the story, how much did he actually go through? Because you have to expect it. There's going to be some things that were created for the film,
probably.
But I am curious, and that is.
Know in the comments.
I'm sure he went through a lot of that. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, clearly he got married. I mean, like there's pictures to prove it. I mean, they're both guards, and yeah, I mean, I think that's such a cool story of a rags to riches in a way, and not riches, but
but like
by no means
integrity and like
fulfill your integrity,
living.
To be genuine with yourself, and very cool.
I love that paragraph it showed at the end where it's like to all the men and women who have integrity and the officers who are honest and have integrity.
And that's another thing
wow,
too.
this is so unique.
The pressure, if the system is corrupt, the pressure to adhere to the system if you're going into that system, and if you have prospects, because that's what needs to happen even in the U.S. There's corrupt systems, and it's just like if there's that honesty and the belief that you can make a change, it is worth it to fulfill that change and pursue. I mean, it is so challenging to get into where these police systems and these different governmental systems, and
I wonder if he suspended that one guy, the guy who took the bribe.
That would be so
great.
great.
Credits scene that was only what they would have.
Right. Well, now one guy, I mean, that one police scene too, where the guy was talking about that. You remember, he was like the professor guy. He was talking about corruption and stuff like that, and how hard it is to kind of uproot, right? Because he's like, I don't respect you, I respect the rank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he had like a line like it's you are the ones that make the rank. So it's like you have to be.
Yep.
Exactly, because I think in India, especially from what we've seen, even other movies and entertainment we've watched
have bribe.
The police system is very susceptible to bribing and different things like that. So
not as common in America, but I mean it's definitely
there are
a common
pockets of
issue.
absolutely.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. But and it's totally true. Where if the system is like that, that's horrible, and that's what's so cool about that one guy that was teaching. It's like you are the reason why people respect the rank. So you need to be act in a way that people respect.
Yep.
Which is not taking
you have
bribes.
to earn that respect.
Yeah. Right, and that's the system. You need to adhere to that. You know, it's like this is your as a police officer. You are taking power, right? You have authority, and you need to wield that very carefully, and you need to be 100%. A man of integrity to do that.
Exactly.
It's a very weighty job, which kind of speaks to the process to even get there. It's sad to think that there were so many that abuse that power.
Like the one guy, the other guy that's like, oh, my dad just wants me so we can get more bribe money.
Right.
I know, it's like
crazy.
What?
I'm sure that exists though.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Well, anyways,
anyway,
let's get to our rating.
All right,
we use Letterboxd. By the way, guys, we use Letterboxd.
Yes, check us out on
so it's out of 5.
Links are in the description.
If you think we should watch a different movie, vote on it. Google Forms are out every week.
Check out the YouTube community tab.
And then the ones
links on there every
top
week.
5. Go to the Patreon to then vote for out of those top 5. So if you want to completely decide, go on the Patreon. If you want to throw a vote in, though, go on the Google Forms. Or do both.
All right. Well, what did we give this one?
Oh man,
who
wants to start?
Well, I mean, we could all say it at the same time.
Well, but then we got complaints of.
Ben, how about you go first? I think Isaac went first last time. How about you go first,
right.
and I'll go first.
So I was between 4 out of 5 and a 4.5 out of 5.
Ooh.
But this one was so well done. I don't know if this was really tough. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh,
so that's pretty high praise.
That's
I've
very
watched a
high.
lot of dramas.
So,
very rare that I give a movie a 4.5 out of 5. But I think it was
you guys could. I mean, look back in our other reviews. Ben rarely gives a 4.
That man is stingy on the 4.5.
I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna go with the flow. It's rated really high.
Guess what?
Yeah, I like it.
So.
I gave it a 4.5 as well.
Wow.
I was also on the 4.5, and I'm like, you know what? I got to be on 4.5 now.
Yeah, I was at 4 until the last 20 minutes, and man, that was very so powerful. I'm like, I have to give this higher than.
And
4.
you need it. You need it to get to that 4.5. You really do need to stick the landing.
Yes,
it's very important.
Has to be powerful and hard, and emotional. And
people are going to be like, "Why didn't you give it a 5-star?" Trust me, it is very rare for any of us
Keeps
to
that
get
locked
5
tight.
stars.
Go to follow him on Letterboxd. You can see all of his 5s. It's just like 10 movies.
My rating structure is like a giant middle finger. It's all the middle.
It's not even a bell curve. It's just a
There's a lot of in a bar graph.
So this 4 will add a new knuckle to like the
a little bit on
there
the
you go.
forehead.
Get rid of
well,
that
good
middle,
stuff.
We'll get rid of that middle finger.
No, this was a very earnest movie.
So good. And who directed this? So the guy who did
from
3
the
Idiots
makers of 3 Idiots
wrote it, I think. Maybe he did. If you hit his name, maybe he did direct this.
Vidu?
Yeah, Vidu.
Chopra?
So he
did do 3 Idiots.
He
was
was
a
a
writer.
writer,
and he did PK.
And Muna Bai is a very highly rated one. That's been on our list
this
of
guy makes movies.
Yeah.
This guy knows where it's at. I was getting those vibes.
Wow, he was involved in PK.
Dude, I know. I was getting those.
This
is like, this is the vibes I'm liking.
Yeah. What a good director.
Obviously, shout out to Vikrant. Hopefully, Vikrant.
Yep.
I'm pronouncing that right, because he made the movie. Because I don't think if his performance wasn't as good as it was, I don't think it would just fall into that.
True.
Hey, this is a pretty good drama. He really did make the movie.
Yeah. If he didn't act well, it would have absolutely just blown up, like his head in Merciper.
Oh no!
Tie-in. No.
That's not. We can't.
Anyways, that's it, right?
No. What did you guys think of this movie? Let us know in the comments
is it worth the 9.2? That is
it is high. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Let us know.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
We'll see you in the next video.
The next one.